A negative review on Google or Zillow is not the same as a bad review on Yelp for a restaurant. In real estate, your reviews are part of your professional record. They follow you. They show up in every search a prospective client does on your name. And a bad response to a negative review can damage you significantly more than the original one-star post. There are 3 ways agents typically respond to a negative review, and 2 of them make things worse. Option 1. Say nothing. The problem is that a review with no response looks like you do not care or cannot defend yourself. Option 2. Respond defensively. Argue with the reviewer. Explain in detail why they are wrong. This is the most common mistake, and it is catastrophic. Future clients reading your profile see a defensive agent who argues publicly with clients, and that is a deal breaker. Option 3. A professional, specific, brief response that acknowledges the experience without confirming disputed facts and redirects to resolution. That third option is hard to write in the moment when you are frustrated. In this video, I'll use Claude to draft exactly that kind of response in under 3 minutes. Calm, professional, specific, and reputation protecting. Quick disclaimer. This is an educational workflow demo, not professional or legal advice. Review responses in real estate carry specific compliance considerations. In the U.S., FTC guidelines govern endorsements and testimonials, including how businesses respond to them. In the U.K., the ASA and consumer protection regulations apply. In Canada and Australia, similar consumer protection rules govern public business communications. There is also a specific real estate consideration. Your response cannot confirm, deny, or discuss specific transaction details that could constitute a breach of client confidentiality. Your broker and their legal counsel are your first resource if a review involves allegations that could have legal implications. This workflow is for the standard negative review, not for reviews that involve potential legal issues. Some links are affiliate. Full disclosure in description. Not all negative reviews are the same, and the response approach differs significantly by type. Type 1. Factually inaccurate. The reviewer states something that did not happen or gets the facts of the transaction wrong. The instinct is to correct the record publicly. The problem is that doing so often requires disclosing transaction details you should not put in a public forum. Type 2. Legitimate criticism, where the reviewer has a genuine complaint about communication, follow-through, or experience. This is the easiest type to respond to well, because acknowledging it genuinely and showing how you handle it actually builds credibility with the readers. Type 3. Vague or unverifiable. 3 stars, no explanation. No response to this is often the right move, but a brief acknowledgement can work. I got a 1-star review once from someone I could not identify as a past client. I spent 40 minutes writing and rewriting a response in the moment. Deleted 4 drafts because each one sounded either defensive or too deferential. The one I finally sent was just okay. This prompt workflow produces a better draft than my stress-written 40-minute version in about 3 minutes, and it starts from a much calmer place. Before you open Claude, write down 3 things in a quick note. First, the full text of the review, exactly as it appears. Do not paraphrase it. Second, your classification of the review, accurate complaint, inaccurate, vague. Third, 1 or 2 sentences from your own perspective on the situation, written privately, just for the prompt. You are not putting your private view in the public response. You are giving Claude the context it needs to generate a response that is accurate without putting you in a false position. The private context note might be something like, this client was difficult throughout the transaction. Their complaint about communication is partially fair, but their description of what happened at closing is inaccurate. That context shapes the tone and specificity of the draft without any of it appearing in the public output. Now let me build the prompt with a sample review. Here is the full prompt for a sample negative review. Role instruction. You are a professional reputation management advisor helping a real estate agent write a public review response. The response must protect the agent's professional reputation while appearing genuine and human, not scripted. Then the review type block. Type legitimate complaint with partial inaccuracy. Then the full review text. I will use a sample review. Quote, I worked with this agent on the purchase of my home in Sampleville. Communication was slow during the inspection period, and I felt like I was always chasing them for updates. The closing process was disorganized. 2 stars, no name given. Then the agent context block, marked as private. Communication during the inspection period was genuinely slower than normal due to 3 simultaneous transactions. The client did not reach out via the agreed channel. The closing process ran smoothly from our end, but the title company had a delay that created confusion. Then the response requirements. Write a public response of 50 to 75 words. Acknowledge the experience without confirming disputed facts. Do not disclose transaction details. Offer a path to direct resolution offline. Tone: professional, genuine, not defensive. Do not use the phrase "I am sorry for your experience." That phrase sounds scripted. Generate 2 response options so the agent can pick the one that feels most natural to their voice. That is the complete prompt. Running it now. 2 response options come back. Both are under 75 words. Both acknowledge the experience without confirming disputed facts. Both offer an offline path. The differences are in tone. Option 1 is slightly more formal. Option 2 is more conversational. Here is what you are checking in either option. First, does any line accidentally confirm something you dispute? If the review says the closing was disorganized and your response says "We understand the closing process created frustration," you have just confirmed the claim even if you did not intend to. The prompt usually avoids this, but you check. Second, is there any specific transaction detail in the response? Even well-intentioned specificity can breach client confidentiality norms. Third, does the response offer a clear offline path, a phone number, email, or invitation to contact you directly? That redirect is important because it shows other readers that you take complaints seriously and handle them privately rather than arguing publicly. A compliance officer at a mid-sized brokerage who reviewed this workflow suggested adding a line to the prompt. Flag any language that could be construed as confirming a disputed fact. That one addition significantly improved the output quality on inaccurate review types. Let me run a second example quickly. A vague 3-star review with no explanation. Same structure, but different review type. Review text: 3 stars, nothing else, no comment. Review type: vague. Agent context: no identifiable transaction in the time frame. For this type, the prompt should generate a very short, genuinely curious response that invites the reviewer to share more. Something like, "Thank you for taking the time to leave a review. We would appreciate the chance to understand your experience better. Please reach out directly at the number in the description so we can follow up." That response is 10 seconds to read, does not argue, does not appear defensive, and shows every other potential client reading your profile that you take feedback seriously. I originally kept a document of manually written response templates for different review types, one for every scenario, and I would copy and edit from those. The problem was the edits from templates always had residue from the previous transaction the template was written for, and they never felt fully tailored. The Claude prompt generates from scratch every time, which means the response actually fits the specific review instead of feeling like a modified template. Time from this session: writing the 3-input note for the legitimate complaint review, 90 seconds. Typing and running the full prompt in Claude, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Reading the 2 options and selecting and lightly editing 1 minute and 40 seconds. Total for 1 review response, under 6 minutes. The vague review response was under 2 minutes. Manual version, 30 to 40 minutes of anxious drafting, deleting, redrafting, because the emotional pressure of writing in response to something negative makes the work take 5 times longer than it should. The prompt removes the emotional drafting process entirely. You are reviewing drafts, not writing in a reactive state. And the output follows a proven response structure. Acknowledge without confirming. Offer offline path. Stay under 75 words. That a well-built prompt applies consistently, where a self-written emotional response often does not. The full review response prompt is in the description. Copy it, add your review text and private context, and you have a draft in 3 minutes. I linked a quick decision tree for which response approach fits which review type. It is a 1-page reference. The free prompt pack in the description includes this plus 9 others for marketing and reputation workflows. Subscribe for 3 AI workflows a week for real estate agents. Next Tuesday, I am showing you how to generate a full listing proposal with market data and comparables in 10 minutes before a seller appointment. See you then.